Um, oh my God, the strength on this is ridiculous. I don't know if I've ever had strength on anything I've ever streamed this high before. We got good internet out here in this shed. Shout out to the who we shouting out? Is this who's these peoples? Eero. Is that right? Is that what we saying right? It is EERO. That's Eero, right? Yeah. I'm guessing that's who it is. If I'm butchering your name, I'm so very sorry. We're going to end this and we're going to put an indoor cycle and we're going to hit that button right here. I'm out here on this bike. This is not like a traditional ride, I guess. I don't want to diminish the ride by calling it non-traditional, but I don't have on all the garbs, if you will, that you would wear if you was out here in these streets riding. Something is going off. I don't know what it is. But we still out here in these streets, right? Just trying to get a little exercise in, trying to get a little something. I have three things that are on my brain, if I can share those three things with you. First of all, it's good to be with you. I'm EDB. That's where the hey, it's EDB comes from. You know, it's supposed to be a greeting mixed in with my name. Do we even do proper greetings in our lifetime anymore? I don't really know what we do in this world. I'm just a pilgrim passing through. That's what the ancestors said. But anyway, hey, it's EDB. That's Eric Deshaun Barrett. Now that we got all the pleasantries out of the way, I thank you for being here. That should be added into the pleasantries. I thank you for doing whatever is necessary to get these pieces of business. That should be in the pleasantries as well. And we're here. I'm out here. And as I told you, I have three objectives that I'm trying to work through. Number one, I'm trying to figure out what the devil is in my finger, because it caught my attention. And why do you have like dead skin under your fingernails? Why does that happen? Where's the science teacher when I need it? I don't even know what science teacher I would call. Mr. Vic Cilio. He was earth science at Maury High School is about to tear down. Bless his heart. Anywho, we'll leave that be. We'll leave that be for now. Those three things that I'm working through. Number one, what am I doing? Number two, why am I doing it? And number three, as I told you, I was going to leave that alone, but I just couldn't. Why am I on this internet? Actually, I could. I just chose not to. So, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? Why am I on the internet? Now that we know what our three objectives are, please forgive me if we go all across the board here. Because as I said, we know our objectives. So we really can just go on about our business and not do them in order is what I'm trying to say. So what are we doing again? What am I doing? Why am I doing it? Why am I on the internet? Okay, those three things. I was watching a YouTube video out here before I got all this set up, right? While I was trying to get my mind right. This was by a guy named Jesse James, I think it is. Is that his name? He's on YouTube. Go and type Jesse James and see if I'm right. I want to think about two different Jesse James. And one of them was the Road Dogg from WWF. And the other one was and I think he even got his mindset, his motivation, if you will, did the Road Dogg from the criminal Jesse James. But I think there's a guy on the internet named Jesse James. Let me get my trusted YouTube app open here and see Is that what we were watching? I just want to make sure I'm telling you. I don't want to tell you nothing wrong, you know, because I'm on the internet and everything you put on the internet is right. Yes, Jesse James, that's his name. Jesse James West. I'm like, I knew it was something in there that we're missing. He was doing this video out there. He went to this gym. What is this thing called? Let me make sure I'm telling you right, because this is the internet and everything on the internet is right. Training at the world's, is this what, let me see. Okay. Training at the world's most dangerous gym. Yeah, that's what he was talking about. And I was watching this video and it was intense. It was super intense. They were yelling and screaming, and it was messing with my emotionalism, my emo life. And you got this white boy who's at this gym, because Jesse James West is white boy, and he's at this gym with all these Negroes, and they're just cussing and screaming and all this other good stuff. And he's just sitting there like, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. And I'm like, bruh, I couldn't do it. I'm sitting there like, I couldn't do this. And then I had to think about, why couldn't I do it? Because I'm not able to accept people pushing me. Because pushing seems like force. It seems like evil. It seems like people hate you because I'm a product of my environment. And so that environment means that anytime somebody pushes me harder than I think I should do, then they hate me, or all of these different thoughts were coming up in my brain. And please, I'm not going to sit there and waste your time, at least not today. We'll do that down the road. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to waste your time today trying to navigate all those waters, because that's a lot of waters. But it bothered me until I processed and went through, and there was part of me that wanted to cut the video off. It's like a... what is this? Let me see. Let me go back here. I could have saw it from there. This was a 21-minute video. I promise you. I swear to goose grease on life, Jesus. I swear to goose grease on life, Jesus. Yeah, okay, that sounded about right. I don't know if I can swear on the life of Jesus. I don't have that kind of power. Okay. Anyway. 21 minutes of that video, maybe 10% of that video I was done. So 10% of 21, by 2 minutes and 21 seconds, I was like, okay, my remote is around here somewhere and we're done with this. Yeah, we're good. I don't want to watch this anymore. Nope. Not gonna make me watch it. Nope. Done. These people are mean. These people are evil. These people are just, nope, not going to do it. Not going to do it. And then there was this little voice inside. It's like, just keep watching. Let's see what's going on here. And I'm like, I'm not going to do it. As much as I believe in the oppression of the white man, and 9 times out of 10, somewhere down there in Jesse James West's past, he probably had 1 or 2 Confederates. I'm like, I don't think this boy deserves to be treated like this. But that's my mindset. I'm a product of my environment. And that product, that environment, has me thinking, yeah, we ain't gonna do this, bro. Nah, we good. We just gonna not gonna do it. But that little voice, I said, like, keep watching, keep paying attention, stay locked in. Let's see what we got here. So I stayed locked in, got through the whole 21 minutes. Mr. James had 3 objectives. Number 1, he couldn't break any of the rules in the gym. I remember that one. And number 2, he had to get this big black burly bastard. That's what I said. They called him Unc. Big black burly bastard. He had to get his approval. Now, Unc was evil. You could tell from the start of the video that Unc was evil. But there's a part of me that was going, okay, Unc is feeling you out. He's trying to make sure he's psyching you up. This is that military mindset that, let's psych this boy up. Let's not make him feel too comfortable. Let's not make him feel too welcome. Let's kind of punk him out a little bit. That's what we're doing here. Again, it screws up my ego. That made me pause right quick to think, how are we training like young folks for military today? How's that military training going? That's what I wanted to say. I don't know what that sentence is I just put there. Sometimes I butcher sentences. And sometimes I realize after I butcher them in my head that I really didn't. But, if I think I did it in my head, then I did it. Okay. So how's that training for military going? I'm curious. Because what we saw here in this, what they call the Diamond Gym, I believe that's what it's called. Let me make sure of that again. That's why we keep these notes down here so that we can definitely see. Let me go back here. It is, the Diamond Gym. Yeah, we were right. Have confidence in yourself, kid. Is to me, this is military training at its best, right? It's just excruciating. It's gut wrenching. It's ego checking. It's emotionally charged. It will callous you, both mentally, both physically. I might even do one or two things to your spirit. And so I'm sitting here for this 21 minutes and I'm watching like all of these rules of fitness that I've come to understand be broken in my mind, right? We're not even doing a proper barbell squat or barbell press, right? It's too fast, right? They're doing like what? 300 something reps in 300 reps in anything goes against everything I've ever been told. Like, you don't need that many reps. You don't need to work out that hard. You don't need to push that much. What are you talking about, bruh? No, bruh. And in that 21 minutes while I was sitting there, because I was being forced to by my inner conscious, I called him the Holy Ghost. I was like, everything that I know, we all know, it's all subjective. It's all manipulated and manufactured by humans. So if a human says that all you have to do is 15 push-ups in order to make it 15 minutes a day, there's a guy on the internet called the Daily Reps guy. He does like what? 20 minutes a day of something. That's his mission statement. How do I get jacked in 20 minutes a day? Some folk will say that's all you need. There's other folks who will paint the picture that you need to put in like 3 hours a day. That's kind of what I do. Actually, more than that if you add in what we're doing out here. So we have all these extremes that are put together by people. And what makes the whole world confusing to me is when we're putting all these pieces together, all these different ideas and ideals, right? And then you have to find yourself trying to answer that one question. All that to get to question number one. What am I doing? Because you've read this book, you've listened to that podcast, you've watched this YouTube video, you went to this conference, you sat under this lecture, and you have all this craziness in your brain. I remember having a conversation some time ago with my dear uncle, long time ago, back when I really didn't pay much attention to anything he had to say. I still don't, to be honest with you. But because I'm a self-centered egotist who thinks he knows it all, or at least thinks I know it all. That's kind of the problem. Not the full problem. But again, we're not going to fully diagnose old EDB today. That will take too much time. But that's why you should subscribe, so that you can sit here and fully diagnose me. Yes, that was so condescending. But I remember hearing him say one time, you have to pick something and go with it. You can't be all across the board. But again, that contradicted. That was a contradiction. Are you hearing what I'm saying? A complete contradiction of everything I knew, because I grew up in school and they made you do 7 courses a day. Now y'all got block schedules. At least I think y'all do. I don't know what y'all do in school. I ain't been in school in 20 years. I'm in college in what? 20. I ain't been to college in 20 years. 4 to 14 is 10. No, 8 to 18 is 10. To 28 is 20. So 18 years I have been on. Yeah. Yowzers. I've been out of high school for 20 something years. I've been out of college for almost 20. Yeah. But that was defunded, so I don't really know how much that counts. But we're in school, right? And they were training us to do all these different things, all these, different things. You had to have all these different courses. I'm sitting here looking right now at all these different ideas and ideals that we had to succumb ourselves to, because for some reason you had to have a plethora. You couldn't just go in. Why couldn't we just go in and not have to live life confused? All right. And I was fortunate, now that I think about it. I told you we're all over the board here. So sit down and tell somebody, say, come watch this roller coaster ride we're on here on the internet. I was fortunate that I was in the ROTC, which is why this video kind of spoke to me a little bit. And I had a central somewhat focus on what I was doing. But even in that context, even in that reality, in that space, it was still this push, if you please, to try to distance from that one thing. Let's get a plethora of things. Let's get a multiplicity of concepts under your belt. Instead of realizing if you're starting with one base like the United States military, number one, if you just start at the gate of, what is it now? The Department of War. The Department of War. Oh, say, can you see over yonder? Yes, sir. It was one thing I saw, was the Department of War. Whew, Lord, you don't know how hard it was to get there. I was struggling. Lord have mercy. I got to take a breath on that. I was trying to figure out how to get to that war. I was like, okay, I started with that part, Francis Scott Key, but somehow I got to get that war in there, and that war don't really fit. We got to make it work. We're going to make it work. We're going to make it work. But if you start at the military, at the doors, at the gates of the Department of War, that Pentagon, which I think is now the Department of War, is a very big place. It's got a lot of things going on in there, right? It's a palace to itself, is the Department of War. And so what am I meaning? I'm glad you asked. If you start there at that Department of War, here's what's going to happen. I believe down in my bone marrow. You're going to find yourself just lost, even in that one building, right? Even in that one building, my uncle's mindset would still cause me to have a problem. My uncle's mindset, you got to find something and stick to it. Just in war, it's like, well, what do I pick here? Do I be a SEAL? Do I be a rescue swimmer? Do I go to the Air Force? Do I go to the Navy? I don't want to go to the Army because that'll make me crawl around in the grass, and I'm not about that life. The Marines, them bastards crazy. So I don't know who want to do that either. What did I forget? The Coast Guard, they hang around on the sea, but then again, so does the Navy. See, you see how we're like already confused? And then when you pick a branch, it's like, okay, so if I'm going to the Navy, again, am I going to be a SEAL? Am I going to be a pilot? Because they do have pilots in the Navy. Am I going to be a boatsman? Am I going to be electrical engineer? Am I going to be computer technologist? Am I going to be need a drink? Give me a drink. Give me up a piece of that drink. Oh, wait. By the way, this is another free piece of advice here. You'll get a lot of these while you're paying attention, old EDB here. If you don't have a bottle with a squeeze top on it, you're messing up your life. Please do not try to do this. Whether it's riding a bike, whether it's riding a treadmill, whether it's outside running in the streets, do not try to do that without a top with a squeeze on it. You're going to need to be able to do that with your life. Because if you're trying to sip while you're moving, you already know. I knew it too, and yet I stupidly tried to do it. Right on down me went all my drink. Right on down me. Just sitting there. And you can't stop while you're on the treadmill or while you're running. That's not the point. The point, that is the point. The point is to not stop. You slow down. You kind of coast. You quote unquote put yourself in neutral, but you don't stop. So, just a little piece of advice to throw in there. So I'm stuck here at this military door. Can't figure out where I'm going. Can't find this one piece. What do I do? That's very interesting. Here's what I would like to submit to you for consideration. Now, this is not me telling you what to do with your life because I can't do that. Okay. I want to, I'm stopping. No, we're stopping. That see, that's a no. We're stopping. We're not supposed to stop. And I'm putting my hands in my face. I'm breaking rules here. Where is the Jesse West? No, it's Jesse James, but it's still Jesse West. Please don't hurt me. He won't hurt me. He likes me. He doesn't know who I am, but if he ever met me, he'd like me. I believe that. That's what I want to tell myself. Anyway, enough about him. This is just something I want to throw into your brain. That's why I pulled you in close. I can't tell you what to do with your life. I'm not going to do that because that's not my mission statement. But I would like to throw something out for you to consider. Now, that's the great thing about doing these little things here, which is kind of why we're on the internet. You see how this is not in order? You gotta, it's almost like a puzzle. You know what I should do? I should really do door prizes or something. Find the themes in the rant. You just have to sit there and listen and then find when I get to the points because they're so jumbled up. It's like trying to put a crossword puzzle together. Yeah. So, can't tell you what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Just want you to consider something. What wakes you up in the morning? What inspires you? What motivates you? What gives you that oomph you need to push on? What is that thing that when you say, if I do this, I know my day is going to be totally reeking of awesomeness. Isn't that what Edge and Christian said from WWF? Not E. That's a different group of people. I don't know about those wrestling people these days. Naughty. But what is that one thing that just got you? I'm here. I'm good. I'm locked in. Rah, let's go. Whatever that thing is, what if you go do that? Whatever that thing is, go do that. And when you go do that, first of all, you'll settle in because you become confident. You become good at it. I realized the only thing I could do was advance my health. I can go to the gym. I can come out here to what I call the Swole Barn. I think that's what we're going to call this place. We should call it the Swole Barn. Yeah, that's what we should call it. I don't think it ever really had a name. The Nail Center? I don't know. The moral of the story is I can come out here. When your world comes crashing down, this makes sense. This will hold together. This will be my saving grace. And it's the only thing I really can understand, and more importantly, that I can really master. So I stay out here. Okay. So now what do? That's where the game becomes so interesting, because first we know what we're doing, right? Now, why we're doing it? Because it interests me, because it makes me feel, because it empowers me, because I know that this is something that I can do. This is something in my brain that I can, without thinking about, just at the click, I can get her done. I know that. So now we know what we're doing and we know why we're doing it. Those two things, those two questions you can answer, but simply that one thing that keeps you up at night, that one thing that wires you, that one thing that you say, this is it. This right here is it. Now, I'm not going to tell you what that thing is for me, because that'll be too much for you to consider. No, not today. We'll workshop that for later on. But let's get to this final question that we're bringing up today. Why am I here on this internet? Some can say that it's about being a big time YouTuber or content creator or influencer. We can get the brand deals. We can do all these different things. We can just get a maximum amount of resources with little to no effort. That's what some can say. When I started on here back in the Stone Ages, it was a place where you could go to express yourself. It was a place where nobody could tell you couldn't speak. It was a place where nobody could tell you what to do. And we did what we wanted to do because we knew nobody could tell us what to do. And some of those things I wouldn't necessarily suggest doing again. I literally took a video down a couple of days ago that had been there since the dawn of time, at least for me. And it was wild. It was wild. I don't think Wild 'N Out, you know that show with Nick Cannon? I don't think that can come close to what we had over there. You can't put what we were doing on TV. As a matter of fact, I don't even know if it would survive on the internet. I think if that thing had a little bit more views, it'd probably have the whole channel shut down. As a matter of fact, when I think about it, I think those rats were trying to get me shut down. But we don't talk anymore. So there's that. Oh, that was me punching them out. Actually, no, it's me getting the bar out of your face. But we can believe what we wish. So it was about having a place to speak earlier. Now it's more about having a place to reflect. It's having a place to hold yourself accountable. This is about putting your ideas somewhere that you can personally go back to look at. Maybe hundreds of thousands of people will watch it. Maybe 2 people will watch it. I really don't know. It's more, well, actually, I do know. You keep putting this stuff out here, and you keep putting this stuff out here. And what else you got to do? Oh, yeah, you keep putting this stuff out here. Eventually, some people's going to watch it, right? Sure is. But let that never be your objective, because that leads to burnout. That leads when you take a swig on this one, because this brings back memory. This is gonna mess with my PTSD. By the way, there's electrolytes in here. That's nothing but water with some powder, but it does a body good. Helps you work out, helps you keep strong, helps you stay out here on this bike. Seeing as this is minute number 197 for me. Yeah. I have worked out today for 197 minutes thus far. Oh Lord. Okay. But my electrolytes and my pre-workout got me going. I don't have any out here right now. We'll talk about we got a lot of things to talk about. Yes. But when you put it out here, trying to be more interested in what your audience wants to see, you're going to drive yourself crazy. I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. I'm just trying to tell you how to not burn it up. Listen to old EDB here. Stick to what you do. And it's going to fluctuate. It's going to fall. It's going to trend. People are going to walk off because they're folks who followed you in the first reiteration of who you were. That's not going to follow you when you evolve. They're not going to follow you when you transition. There are folks who followed me because I did all that crazy, stupid stuff on the internet. I don't talk to them people no more because my mentality, my ideas, and my ideals don't line up with them anymore. And so what I had to realize is I can't sit here and try to chase after them or try to hold them. You gotta bless them and release them. Isn't that right? Let's say, in the name of the Father, of the Son, and may the good Lord, that's Holy Spirit, by the way, Father, Son, and blessed Holy Spirit. Okay, we don't want to butcher that. No. All these theologians will look at me funny. Now we go to, may the good Lord watch between me and thee. Yes. Actually, it should have been, may the good Lord watch between me and thee. So it's like, oh! That won't supposed to happen. Wow. I dropped you. Oh, I don't know. Was that like some subliminal way of really trying to get rid of you? Like, yeah, that's how we feel about those people who are not on our level anymore. Let's just throw them on the floor and throw them hard so that their ears crack because they didn't see that drop coming. Whew, God bless you listening to this in your ear holes. So you're going to a new level, right? And you're finding yourself. You're finding yourself. You're finding yourself. Every day you are finding yourself. That's why that sacred text in the prayer. You ever read that prayer in the book of Matthew, chapter 6? I remember it because I used to try to do content I tried to do a video one time, and the focus of the video was to do it in 6 minutes and 11 seconds. And I'm trying to, I'm hold on. I can't pedal. I mean, it's just not easy to pedal and turn the pages. I want to read chapter 7 to you in verse 7. Watch this. Matthew, we're talking about here. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives. The one who seeks finds. And the one who knocks, the door will be open. Mm-hmm. That's the first part of that concept. You're always seeking. You're always knocking. And you're always asking. That who am I? That's seeking. Why am I doing it? That's asking. And I don't know how the fine part comes in there, but maybe that answer is not in that third one. Now that I think about it, actually it's not. But that's not what I wanted to talk to you about. Actually, it was one part I want to talk to you about. Second part I want to talk to you about. I'm not supposed to stop turning. I know I broke a rule. I'm sorry. Is in 6 verse is 11. Give us today our daily bread. That's kind of where the concept of E's daily briefing came from, or hey, it's EDB is now just short. Hey, it's EDB, but it's really like E's daily briefing. It was it had a lot of undertones to it. Matthew 6:11 was one of those tones. I'm very into government, and the president, he gets a little thing called the PDB, the President's Daily Briefing. And so I kind of looked at it as this was a daily reality, or a daily look at the things that might make sense to you. Problem is, there's a lot of things that might make sense to a lot of people, and I can't put all those together. So yeah, that's a confusing thing. Like, I'm just telling you what makes sense to me, and hopefully it connects to you, which brings us back to knowing who you are and why you're doing it. Because when you know who you are and you know why you're doing it, then you're only going to put out the things that matter to you and the people who connect to the things that matter to you. Oh, that's a whole nother can of worms. So we got internet out here in this shed. It is at full strength. This has been a dream of mine. It has been a goal, an objective to come out here and stream. I have always wanted to stream. I didn't have the resource to do it, but now we have those resources. So now I can do these things. And that brings back to, okay, well, Mr. EDB, you kind of wandered around in the desert, in the wilderness. You couldn't find yourself. Sometimes it's not that you can't find yourself. Sometimes it's the things that you see you can't pull off at the moment. Like, I couldn't stream. I didn't have the proper internet. That cost a lot of money that I didn't have. I tried to stream, but with horrible services, it just won't gonna happen. So now we's here, and we got this opportunity, so we can do what we do. So let's throw all that other stuff away. Well, you tried it before. Yeah. I was going to smack this, but I was scared if I do it, it might fly into that chest over there. And that might be loud. We don't want to be loud again. All right. So I'm going to get out of your hair today. I hope you'll subscribe. I hope you will follow in. I hope you will come by. You know, I have a newsletter, right? Did you know that? Can I tell you about that real quick? I have two things I want to talk to you about. A, I have a newsletter. B, that's two. B, I have a daily text that goes out. And I'm thinking about kind of mushing those things. Like, I used to do 2 texts a day. I've been struggling with that. And because if I do one in the morning and then one in the afternoon, it's kind of like, do you really need that much? Do you really need that many words from me? I mean, maybe not. So we might cut that down to one a day. We might do that. Just you kick off your morning with us, and we'll just work on that one text, and you use that to fuel your day. The email will have this featured in it. This will be there. You can watch it live the day before. Or for those folks who don't do it, you get up and watch it in the morning. We'll be out here in this shed. We're going to take some time. We're going to ride. We're going to do some other things. We're going to do some stretches. We got some things. The goal is to do two things, actually three, but I wanted to mess with my nail that's broke because I had a hard day at the gym today. We'll talk. We have to talk about those gym days. Hard. Yeah. But we got through though. I think that's why we don't need to talk about it right now, because we got through. That's all that matters. But we'll be out here stretching our bones. Three things we're working on. That's where we were. We want to build our mind. Because we can't find ourselves until we get ourselves in the right mental space. I've learned that in life. I got to get my mind right? Got to get out all those crazy ideas and ideals out of my mind. This is therapy. I hope this is as much therapy for you as it is for me. But this is therapy, right? This is your hour to come and really process. You hear me ramble, and here's what I hope you do while you're hearing me ramble. Just sit there as I'm looking to see how long we've been doing this here. Just sit there, right? Listen to me ramble and let the ramble, let it marinate in you. Take my words and make them your own. He's talking about he couldn't find himself. He's talking about that he struggled to figure out one thing that he was good at. I'm doing that too, aren't I? I can't really figure this out, right? That's what I hope you do. Don't ever come. If there's one thing that I want to stress in these videos, don't ever come here listening to what I have to say. Come here to connect with what I have to say. Because I'm rambling. I'm just yapping. And somewhere in those rambles, somewhere in those yaps is what you need to think about. Is what we all trying to figure some things out. And if I can ramble, you ever been talking to somebody? This is the best way I can. Yeah, I can explain it this way. Yeah, right here. I like when those ideas just pop in your brain, just like poof, just like. You ever been talking to someone and they're just rambling, and somewhere in their ramble you go, that right there. Yeah, I can use that. I can take that. That's what I hope you get out of these conversations. So what we'll try to do is we'll try to have one central theme, at least three. Today it was, so you can remember, who I is, who I is, why I'm doing what I'm doing, and why it's on the internet. Those three things we'll try to keep it to those, at least two or three things. And then from there, we're just going to let her rip. It's like going to therapy. You just go wherever the wind takes you. And hopefully by the end of every session that we spend together, every hour of pie, hopefully, this is my goal, you will at least be able to answer whatever question we have posed. However long it takes us, or however many roads, should I say, because we ain't gonna try to go over no hour, because that might. But however many twists and turns whatever little weavings we got to do ins and out. As long as we can get whatever those 3 questions today, I think we answered it. We understand who we are. We like to do this. This is what we can control. This fitness thing. We can make sure we're healthy. We can make sure we're mentally, physically, and spiritually ready for battle. We can make sure that that's the thing that we can do, right? We figured that's one question we've answered today. The second question is why? Why are we doing it? Because it wires us. It wakes us up in the morning. It keeps us when all the hells of life come. There's that one thing that you can go to and you can say, you know what? I'm going to do this because this is going to calm me off the ledge. And then the third thing that we shared today, why we put this on the internet. We talked about why we did it back in the day. We did it because we wanted to be heard. We did it because we needed a place where no one could tell us no. That might not have been a good idea because we did some things because there was no one to tell us no. But now we do it for accountability. Now we do it so that we can have something to go back. And sometimes, and I'm going to talk to the people who are going to potentially say this is narcissist because I'm probably projecting on you. Sometimes it's okay to go back and listen to yourself because you're saying things out loud and 9 times out of 10, you can't hear what you're saying. But when it's out there, it's like your writings. My mama, wonderful English person, loves the English language, Elizabethan style, of course. Couldn't really get into American. Oh, I was trying to think like Black Ebonics. Yeah, she'd rather die. Anyway, I took a swig on that one. But my mama would say all the time, write your words and then leave it. And quote unquote, let it get cold. What does it mean when it gets cold? You done forgot what you said. You're not in that mind space anymore. And then you come back after you're out of that mind space and you hear it and you go, the hell is that talking about? Because you don't remember it. You're not in that space anymore. I can justify what I'm saying right now. And to some degree, even I, in these present moments, probably because I've conditioned myself to do that, that's something you might be able to do. Try it out if you want. But when, like earlier today, when we were having a conversation, I said, I think I butchered a sentence. Because I heard it in my brain and it didn't sound right in my brain. Sometimes when I go back and listen to it, you don't know what I talked to. What do you mean? You didn't butcher that. That was fine. But my brain heard it wrong. And so I just corrected it. I just went back and repeated it, if you will, to tell my brain that I corrected it, right? It's the same thing when you go back and listen to it over. You're like, you can go back and see what mind space you were in. I have a video that's set to come out. Is it this year? It might be this year. It might be. It might come out April 2026. Let me open the YouTubes here and see. We're going to content and we're going to videos. I think that's what we want to do. Yep. April 3, 2026 is scheduled to be released this year. Lord have mercy. Whoo, I'm looking forward to trying to figure out what I said 5 years ago. Is that when I recorded it? It was recorded. It's scheduled to be released. at 5 p.m. on April 2026. It was recorded Saturday, April 3, 2021. We was in the middle of we were coming out of that pandemic by then. We were like struggling to get through it. I was on my way to the altar. Thoughts. Anyway, I'm looking forward to seeing what that has to say. I'm looking forward to it. So, why are you on the internet? Please don't get here. I'm repeating myself, but I kind of want this in us. I want this in me at least. Please don't be here trying to please the internet, because the internet is about as confused as your president. Oh, that was your ears. I'm so sorry, but I had to do a mic drop and I didn't know how, and I busted your eardrums. I'm so sorry. But here's the good news. There's a corner of the internet. Watch what I'm getting ready to tell you. As we's 51 minutes into this, our hour is almost coming to a close. There's about a corner of the internet. I guarantee you, if you work hard, if you push hard, if you lock in, if you become super authentic in who you are, if you become super okay in who you are and what you do, there's about 1 million people. I give you a good million hardcore around this here God's globe that will resonate with what you do. So please come share, because it's what you need. Share because it empowers you. Share because you need those thoughts, those positive notes. You want the world to feel, hopefully it's positive. If it's not, then we need to talk about that too. But you want the world to feel as good as you do. Again, we hope that's positive. So those are the things to share. All right. We want to spend this last few minutes with our eyes closed. We didn't yapped a lot this hour. Hear our prayer, O Lord. Hear our prayer, O Lord, and incline to us and grant our needs. Whew. Passed by that performance and all that took out of me to try to do it. That was a very good song. Them old songs, man, they be doing something to you. Because them old people knew what they were talking about. They knew what they were doing. They knew how to empower themselves. All right, so in the comment section, after you hit the subscribe button, that's what you need to do. Find me on the internet somewhere where you can slide into the DMs, because here's what happens. Our texts and our emails are by invite only. We don't have mass people reading our stuff because we ain't got time for that. No, remember we talked about find your audience and your loyal people? Yeah, we ain't got time for that. So we want people in our circle that think, feel, and are going to push us where we want to go. right? We ain't not gonna relitigate that today. We already did that. Go ahead and stop here and go all the way back and start all over again if you missed that roller coaster ride. This is like, it's like a roller coaster. You're coming to the end of the ride now. Well, I want to do that twist again. Okay. Well, when this thing comes to an end, which it will in just a few moments, get off, get in line, and start over again. That's what you do. But hit us up on the internet somewhere. Hey, it's EDB. There is a spot where you can shoot an email. I don't really know where that is right now because we might have to change some things. So I'm going to tell you that. Shoot an email to hey@heyitsedb.com. And what you do is you just say, I want in the emails, I want in the texts, right? And you give me your full name, you give me your email, and you give me your phone number. Now, here's what I want to tell you about that. I do not save your personal number. I do not know your personal number. It goes into the little list, which is secure, by the way. Nobody sees the list with me, but trust me, I don't go looking through it. And then you'll get your text, right? I don't even go in and look at the numbers. I don't have to click the names. I just type the group that message is going out to, and it's gone. And if I don't really go and look at it, I probably won't even remember everybody in that group. So I just want you to know your stuff is secured. It's going to be good. All right. Nobody's going to spam you. Same thing with your email. For some reason, on the service we're using, shout out to the Glow, I can't even figure out how to see the people who are unsubscribing or who are rejected. I don't know. We got to figure that out, but we'll get to that down the road. The moral of the story is I'm not personally looking at your stuff. We're not going to sell it to nobody. We ain't trying to profit and get it in. Nope. Nobody's coming in your DMs because of me. I promise. So yeah, slide in and get those texts. We want to encourage your heart. We want to empower your heart. I want you to feel like I wish to feel. I want you to believe like I wish to believe. I want you to be happy like I wish to be happy. I want you to have joy like I have joy. And even on days I don't have joy, like I want to have joy. I want you to exceed, to do exceedingly and abundantly above all you thought possible, like I do and want to do exceedingly, whatever that means. I don't know. That's the great thing about it. I don't know what your exceedingly and abundantly above all you thought possible is. But here's what I do know. We can at least do what it says in that 7th chapter of the book of Matthew. What did I say again? Did you save it? You didn't save it? That's okay. We got it right here. We're gonna get it right here. We're going to ask and it will be given to us. Seek and we will find. Knock and the door will be open to us. For everyone, you and me, who asks, receives. And when you and me seek, we will find. And to you and me, when we knock, the door will be open. All right. I'm out your hair. We're going to do this again. Lord willing. And that blessed click, the click. It's really a crick, but it could be a click somewhere. Maybe there's a click in the crick. I don't know. All right. We're going to do this again. Until we do that, may the good Lord, you know what I want him to do? I'm so glad you asked me what I want him to do. Because you didn't know, but I'm going to tell you right now what I want the good Lord to tell you what I want the Lord to do. I'm like, Lord to do. How we get to the end and the thing gonna act up? That's telling me it's time to go. We want to take an absolute liking to you. Real good. That was God telling me, boy, hurry this up, bro. We got things to do. All right. May the good Lord take an absolute liking to you. Real good. Real good.